You do not move to Thailand to fall in love. You move to Thailand because you are 27 and your life back home feels like a group chat where nobody replies anymore. You have a job you can technically do from a laptop, a lease you resent, and a calendar full of plans you never keep. You tell people you are going for the culture. What you mean is, you are going because staying feels like admitting this is it. You buy a one-way ticket the way some people buy a gym membership, with optimism, with denial, with the quiet belief that the version of you who lands on the other side of the planet will automatically be better at everything. You pack light. Half your suitcase is clothes you do not wear, and the other half is confidence you did not earn. Bangkok hits you like weather with opinions. Heat that does not politely sit on your skin, it moves in, it takes the couch, it tells you to adapt. The airport smells like air conditioning and exhaustion. You get into a taxi and immediately realize you cannot read anything. Not the signs, not the receipts, not the tiny warnings on the doors that probably matter. You rent a condo in On Nut because someone on YouTube said it was quiet and convenient, and because your decision-making process peaks at whatever has the most views. It is a studio with a small balcony, a bed that doubles as a couch, and a kitchen that could be described as a suggestion. You can see the BTS line from your window, and you tell yourself that means you are connected to the city. Mostly, it means you can hear it. The rent is 13,000 baht, around $360. You tell your friends back home this, and they react like you found a cheat code. You do not tell them about the deposit, the agent fee, the electricity bill that arrives like a threat letter, or the fact that your building's gym has exactly one working treadmill, and it is always occupied by a man walking at 0.7 speed, like he is studying the concept of movement. Your first week is a blur of grab apps, mispronounced thank yous, and the strange experience of being a fully grown adult who cannot even ask where the bathroom is without turning it into a small performance. You learn the survival words. Hello, thank you, sorry, spicy, not spicy. You say all of them wrong and people still smile at you anyway, which feels kind and also slightly terrifying. You set up your routine because routine is what you build when you do not have a plan. Work at cafes. Work at a co-working space when you feel lonely. Eat street food because it is cheap and because it tastes like the city is trying to keep you alive. Moo ping that makes you believe in hope again. You start measuring your life in little plastic bags with rubber bands. You tell yourself you are not looking for anything serious. Serious is for people with a 5-year plan and a savings account that does not have mood swings. You are here for a year, maybe. Explore. Reset. Become the kind of person who uses words like reset. You meet her on a Tuesday night at a language exchange in Phrom Phong. You are there because you want to make friends and because your condo is too quiet and your brain is loud. She is there because she actually wants to practice English and because she has a friend who promised there would be snacks. Her name is May. Not a nickname, not a cute shortened thing. May. One syllable like a door closing softly. She corrects your tie immediately, with a calm directness that would feel rude back home, but here just feels efficient. You attempt to say "Kop kun crap," and you hit it wrong, and she tilts her head like she is listening to a song played in the wrong key. You laugh because you have to. She laughs too, but it is small, surprised, like she did not expect to laugh tonight, and now she has to deal with it. Something in that laugh gets under your skin. You do not say that. You say something dumb about how hard tones are, and she nods like she has heard this speech from 1,000 foreign men who swear they are trying. You talk for 2 hours, about Bangkok traffic, about the weird sweetness of Thai iced tea, about how you cannot tell if someone is being polite or actually likes you. She tells you the difference is in the eyes, not the words. You pretend you understand. She adds you online because that is what people do here. Your phone pings with a sticker of a brown bear bowing. It should not feel like anything. It feels like a door opening. Your first date is coffee because coffee is safe. She takes you to a small place down an alley that you would never find alone. No sign in English. A tiny fan pushing hot air around like it is doing its best. The barista knows her. She orders in Thai without looking at the menus, and you realize there is a version of her that exists in this city that you have no access to. And instead of making you feel excluded, it makes you curious. She teaches you little phrases, not the tourist ones, the ones that make you sound like you live here. Jai yen yen. Cool heart. My pen rai. It is okay. It does not matter. You repeat them and she corrects you, and you keep repeating them until she nods once, like you passed a tiny exam. You start seeing each other twice a week, then 3 times. Then it becomes normal in a way that sneaks up on you. Dinner at places she picks, always small, always loud, always plastic chairs that somehow taste better than your condo kitchen ever will. Walks through night markets where she stops to buy fruit and hands you pieces like you are a child she is trying to keep from getting lost. She shows you Bangkok from the inside. The city stops being an Instagram background and starts being a living thing with habits. The old man who sells grilled bananas at the same corner every night like he signed a contract with the sidewalk. The temple you pass that is empty except for a cat that sleeps like it owns the prayer hall. The tiny boat crossing at the canal, where you have to step carefully because the edge is not interested in your survival. You learn her rhythms. She does not touch you casually at first. Not cold. Careful. She measures things before she gives them. When she tells you something personal, it is small and deliberate, like placing a fragile object in your hands and watching to see if you drop it. She tells you about her mother in Konkan, about sending money home, about how her younger brother is good but sometimes careless, about how Bangkok is expensive and people think if you live here you must be doing well. She says it like a fact, not a complaint. You offer to help and she says no immediately, too quickly, then later she softens it into maybe. You start staying at her place sometimes, a different condo, older, closer to her work. Her room smells faintly like jasmine lotion. There is a small shelf with skincare lined up like soldiers. There is a framed photo of her family, taken in front of a house that looks like it has been repaired 100 times with whatever was available. You notice she is always a little tired. Not dramatic tired, functional tired. The tired of someone who is carrying more than you can see. You want to be the kind of man who lightens that. You do not know yet that wanting to fix someone is just another way of trying to control the story. You date for 6 months, and it feels easy enough that you start trusting it. That is the trick. Things that break you later almost always feel easy first. You meet her friends at a rooftop bar because that is what you do when you want to look normal. Her friends are polite, funny, sharp. They switch between Thai and English like breathing. You are included, but you are also translated, and you realize there are jokes you will never hear in the original language. One of her friends asks you, very casually, how long you are staying in Thailand. You say maybe another year, maybe longer. The word maybe hangs there like humidity. May does not look at you when the question is asked. She looks at her drink. The ice melts. You do not understand yet, but something in the room shifts. Not the color, the texture. Later, walking to the BTS, she says, "Foreigners always say, maybe." She says it like a pattern, not an accusation. You tell her you are different. You hear yourself say it, and you almost laugh because that is exactly what every man says before he becomes a lesson. She asks you to come with her to visit her mother for a weekend. Up country, Isayan. You say yes too fast because you think yes means progress. You do not realize yes is also agreement to play a game where you do not know the rules. The trip is long. Bus station at dawn. Plastic seats. Fried chicken in a bag that makes the whole row smell like comfort. May falls asleep against the window and you watch her face soften into someone younger. Someone who is not monitoring anything. Her hometown is quieter than you expected. The air feels thicker, like it has fewer places to go. Her mother greets you with a smile that is warm and assessing at the same time. Her uncles appear like they were summoned by a group chat. Everyone offers you food. More food. Again. You learn that refusing is rude and accepting is also a trap because they will keep refilling it until you surrender. At dinner, someone asks what you do for work. You explain your remote job in the vague way remote workers always do, like your actual job is being online. They nod like they understand. They do not. They just want to know if you can provide. May sits beside you, calm, quietly translating when needed, but you can feel her body tense when certain questions are asked. Where are your parents? Are you married before? How old? How much do you make? It does not feel hostile. It feels like a checklist. Like love is not only emotion here, it is logistics. That night, May tells you about Sinsad. Bride price. Not like buying someone, she says quickly, like she has had to defend this concept before. More like respect. Showing you can take care. Showing the family you are serious. She says serious like it is a physical object you can put on the table. You nod and pretend you are fine, because you want to be fine. But your brain starts doing math it does not want to do. Not because you do not value her, because you do. Because you do not know how to be romantic inside a system that treats romance like a contract. On the ride back to Bangkok, she's quiet. You reach for her hand and she lets you hold it, but her fingers are slightly stiff, like her body is somewhere else already. She says her mother likes you. She says it like good news. It should feel like good news. It feels like wait. Back in the city, life continues. Work, cafes, street food. The BTS announcements you still barely understand. You and May keep dating, but there is a new carefulness. She starts taking calls in the other room. She starts checking her phone more. When she says everything is fine, the period disappears and turns into a comma. She talks about home more. Not comparing it to Bangkok, just describing it. The slower pace, the neighbors, the feeling of being known. There is warmth in her voice that sounds like homesickness, and you recognize it because you have felt it too. The gravitational pull of the place that made you. She tells you her mother's health is not great. Not emergency. Just the slow grind of reality. She says she might need to go back for a while. A month, maybe. You say okay because you love her and love, you think, is being reasonable. The day she leaves, you take her to the station. She is wearing a simple shirt and sneakers. No drama. No big goodbye. She hugs you, and it is tight but brief. She says, Jai Yen Yen. Cool heart. She smiles like she is trying to convince both of you. She gets on the bus. You watch it pull away. The station is loud and empty at the same time. You go home and your condo feels too clean, like a hotel room you paid for with your own life. The first week, she messages a lot. Stickers, photos of food, a sunset, her mother's porch, short updates. The second week, the messages slow down. She says she is busy. She says her mom needs her. You say, of course. The third week, she stops calling at night. You tell yourself not to be insecure. You tell yourself this is normal. You tell yourself a lot of things. You notice you are checking your phone the way people check a pulse. One night, you wake up at 3 a.m. and your room is lit by the blue glow of your screen. You have scrolled up through your chat history with her without realizing it. Photos of dinners, voice notes where she laughs, stickers of bears bowing. It looks like evidence. It looks like a relationship that happened. You send a simple message. Miss you. Hope everything is okay. You stare at it for 5 minutes before sending because you do not want to be the kind of man who makes someone else's crisis about his feelings. You send it anyway because you are still human. She reads it. No reply. The next day she replies with 3 words. Sorry. Take care. No emoji. No sticker. No explanation. Just a door. Closing softly. You call. It rings. No answer. You call again because dignity is always the first thing to die. It goes to voicemail, and the voicemail greeting is in Thai, and you cannot even understand how you are being rejected. You take the BTS to her condo. Your hands are sweating so much you nearly drop your rabbit card. You stand outside her building like a person who has never learned how to be abandoned gracefully. The security guard looks at you the way guards look at people who are about to do something embarrassing. You ask her unit number. He shakes his head. You say her name. May. He does not react. You show him your phone with her photo. He looks, then looks away. He says something in Thai that you cannot parse, but you understand the shape of it. Not here. You wait anyway, because waiting feels like action. An hour. 2. Bangkok keeps moving around you, like you are a rock in a river. People come and go. Nobody is your witness. You go upstairs on a guess, because denial makes you stupid. The hallway is quiet. You find her door. The small plant outside it is gone. The little shoe rack is gone. The doormat is gone. It is not a breakup. It is a relocation. You stand there and realize you do not know her legal last name. You do not know her exact address up country. You do not know what parts of her life were yours and what parts were always kept behind a locked door. Later, you find one of her hair ties in your backpack, tangled around a charging cable. A small elastic ring. Worth nothing. It hits you like grief because grief does not require expensive objects. It only requires proof. You go to the night market you used to walk through together. The grilled banana man is still there. The fruit lady still hands out toothpicks like she is distributing mercy. You buy the same thing you used to buy. It tastes the same. You feel different. The city did not change. You did. You sit alone at a plastic table and watch couples laugh in languages you cannot identify. You think about that first surprised laugh May had, like happiness showed up unexpectedly, and now she had to deal with it. You wonder if she laughs like that now with someone else. You hate yourself for wondering. You cannot stop. You tell a friend what happened, and they say, maybe she was using you. They mean it as protection. It lands as poison, because if she was using you, then you were stupid, and you can survive being stupid. But the other option is worse. The other option is that she meant it, that she cared, that she loved you in the way she knew how. And then life arrived with its real priorities. A mother, a family, a system that does not bend for feelings, a future that requires certainty, not a man who speaks in maybes. There is no villain you can point to. She is not cruel. You are not innocent. You are a person who came to a new country carrying the fantasy that love could be a shortcut to belonging. She is a person who has been carrying responsibility since before you learned how to pronounce her language. You keep opening line like it is a door that might suddenly unlock. You replay the last message. Sorry, take care. You translate it 100 different ways in your head. Sorry, I cannot. Sorry, I must. Sorry, you thought. Saturday morning comes and you wake up early anyway. Your body still expects a routine that is gone. You make coffee. It tastes wrong. You sit on your bed couch and stare at the balcony door like it might explain something. Outside, Bangkok is already awake. Motorbikes, vendors, the BTS gliding past like a thought you cannot hold. The city does not pause for quiet heartbreaks. It absorbs them. It reuses the space. You whisper the words she taught you. Jai Yen Yen. Cool heart. My pen Rai. It is okay. It does not matter. You say them slowly, perfectly, because you have had months of practice. And for the first time, they do not work. Because the thing you lost is not a person you can mourn cleanly. She is alive. Somewhere up country, May is eating breakfast. Maybe she is helping her mother. Maybe she is standing in a kitchen you will never see. Maybe she is scrolling past your name with a thumb that hesitates and then keeps going. And you are still in Bangkok, still learning the city, still trying to build a life that does not collapse the second someone stops choosing you. The hardest part is how ordinary it looks from the outside. You are just a foreigner in a cafe with a laptop. You are just another man sweating through his shirt in the heat. You are just another person in a city of millions. But inside you, there is a small, quiet room where a surprised laugh used to live. And now it is empty, clean, like it was packed up carefully, like it was never meant to leave a trace. Bangkok keeps moving. Not one of the people passing you is required to notice your story. That is the thing about cities this size. There is always room for one more quiet relationship that nobody finishes reading. That wraps it up for today. The story you just heard is fiction, but if you've ever tried to build a life in a country that doesn't automatically make space for you, you know the loneliest part isn't being alone. It's realizing the warmth you clung to wasn't a promise. It was someone else doing what they had to do to get through their own reality. If this one hit different, drop a comment and tell me which moment stayed with you. I've got more POV stories like this coming. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.